Hi there, Carla. My name is Dawood Miracle, and I am the digital director at Doing Good Branding and Web Design Agency. You spoke with one of our sales reps, Jasmine, a day or two ago, and we were going to do a video review of your website. Now, this is something we do often. We work with a lot of medical practices, and uh, we do these video reviews really to help you know how to refine your website and get more use out of it. So let me just jump in. First, I'm going to say that the website in general isn't ugly. Trust me, there's a lot of websites we look at that look like they were made 10 years ago, and um, this isn't so bad. Though there are a number of things that I want to point out that you guys could be doing better. Before I do that, let me show you that on the mobile side. This is just a mobile emulator. On the mobile side, not too bad. I'm going to talk about this green section anyway, these green blocks, but not too bad. At least the site's mobile friendly. It does pass Google's mobile friendly tests, so that's a good thing. Where I think you're really missing some opportunities, I'm going to first talk about branding. Now, branding isn't logos and colors, and I mean that's a little bit of it. But what should be happening is the logo, the colors, the fonts, the visual presentation should communicate to your audience specific things. And so we break down branding really into 6 pillars, but I'm going to talk about 2 of those. The first is how is your website communicating to your audience that you can best help them solve their problems or situations. How is it that you can help them? And so that begins by helping people self-identify that you have the ability to help them. And that's what we're missing here at the top of the site. We're huge proponents of video, so the video here was really nice when I looked through that. Um, this is kind of nice, but I'm not so sure that it's something that it's gonna be the differentiator between me coming to your practice or not. What we really want to see, both from a branding and a communication point of view, is we want to see your audience here. These background pictures are really nice. It identifies a lot of people doing a lot of different activities. Kind of lets people know and see that you see a variety of different folks. But the text here, we do want to know about Dr. Samra. That's not a problem. But first, we want your audience to know they're in the right place. So having this section, we call this the hero section. Having this top section of your website clearly identify through content that people are in the right place, that you have the ability to help them solve specific things. Or another way to look at it is that you can help them live the life they're looking to live. One of the allergy clinics we did recently, let me just show you this real quick. I won't get into all the details. If you want to talk further about this site, we can. But one of the things that was really important, this is a website we recently redid, and this statement here was critical to their business. And we learned about this through our discovery process, is that they help people improve their quality of life. That's their core goal. That's their core value. And so having something similar, either we help people solve these problems or we help people live the life they want, connects then to your potential patients, lets them know that you have that right stuff that they want to come to. So that's the first part of branding. The second part of branding is just simply how do you differentiate yourself? What's going on your website? How are you using your website to show that how you're different from all the other allergy clinics, all the other allergists that I could go to? And so that again, that's not happening so much on the homepage at all. You could make an argument that being featured on a TV show may be a differentiator, but that doesn't really affect me as a patient. And so, not that you wouldn't want to use this, but maybe not having it, in a critical section of the homepage. So let me just kind of scroll down. So we would use this area differently. Also, your logo is so blurry and small that it's almost unnecessary to have up here. And I didn't see your logo at all on the mobile site. I'm going to guess this is some sort of emulator here that is using your site differently than we would expect. So your logo is not showing up at all. But we need just more. We need the logo to really stand out more, only so that it's a representation of your business and you're communicating through it. There has to be a reason you chose a tree, and so let's tell that to your patients. As I scroll down here, I do like that the menu bar doesn't move. That's a nice thing. Excuse me for a second. What I'm seeing though as we move down is I really don't see anything about your patients. Everything's about your practice. Your blog content begins to do that a little bit. For instance, identifying 5 common symptoms of asthma. That's something a patient could say, you know what, I have that symptom, or I have these 3 symptoms. a potential patient. So doing more of that kind of stuff throughout your homepage can be really, really important. Um, from a design point of view, bringing your services more up front, but doing it in a way that has a little bit more appeal. Again, if we went to the Midland site, you can see we wanted to focus with them on specific symptoms. And so we put those right up front. You can see right underneath here, you hop down and you can get right into what could be your potential allergy symptoms. Again, connecting the symptom and life experience to what the potential patient is facing and dealing with so that they know that they're coming to the right place. So I may not know I have asthma. I may not know, that eczema is something I could get help with, but what are the symptoms of eczema? Maybe I don't know that by name, even though I know that's a term that's used often in the media. So using the services section a little bit better. Again, the blog content's nice. Um, yeah, I'm not going to say much about that there. And it's nice to see your affiliations. I'm sorry, excuse me. I've had something in my throat for a little while here. Um, but again, how does this help me choose you as a doctor? How does it help me choose your clinic and choose your office? Might be a nice thing to have on maybe an about page where I can learn more about the affiliations. Again, just a lot of people do this. A lot of businesses in general do this. I've been a web developer for 23 years, so I've seen a lot of different things. But a lot of people focus on themselves and their business rather than focusing on the patients or clients that they want to serve. And so this would be a shift that we'd suggest on your site is really making it about your audience, especially if you're in any kind of growth situation. You're really looking to grow your practice. Um, the more that you can connect to your audience, the better that people will feel like they can connect to you through your website, and then they'll want to make appointments. Um, the new portal, they don't need to know that this is new. They don't need to know that. They need to know is that they can log in and how to use it. Maybe there's a instruction page, but they don't need to know anything about this being new or what the reasons are. All they really need to know is there's a patient portal. You're going to get most questions anyway in the office about your patient portal, phone calls and emails, than you are through what you put on the website. Now, see, here's where we get into an area that should be higher up on the page. The fact that you guys specialize in, or at least show that you specialize in pediatric allergies and asthma, that would be a differentiator. That would be something that you could use to communicate directly to your audience. There's maybe a little bit too much text. And this text again is about your practice. It's not about symptoms and resolution to symptoms. And so that's how we'd love to see this connect. Then parents can say, oh, well, this is what my child goes through every spring, or this is what my child deals with their asthma, and or deals with in symptoms. So again, focusing on them, not so much on you. So there needs to be some content rights. This when Google Plus is pretty much dead, so that's not really helping you. Um, Facebook we could talk about, and Yelp is a nice resource. But again, I'm not so sure this is something that you need to have up front on the page like this. You're wasting a lot of space on the homepage. What you're really asking people to do is scroll down a long way to get to something like where you're located or your hours of operation. I'm going to guess this is some sort of template that you guys didn't have that much control over. If I remember right, you're using a third-party service. Anyhow, I could dig a lot deeper. This has gone on a little longer. Usually I like to do 5 to 7 minute videos, and this has gone longer than I expected. You guys have a good foundation here, but we believe that you could do a much better job at using your website to reach your audience, and from that bring in more new patients. So we'd love to have a conversation with you about that. Happy to answer any questions. Really, the next step is let's set up a 10 or 15 minute, maybe 15, 20 minute even conversation where you can get all the questions answered from having watched this video. And we're happy to discuss further. Really, that 15 to 20 minute phone conversation is yours to ask us questions, to get some clarity, to know what to do next. And if it feels like from that conversation that you'd like to move into talking about working together, that's when we can do so. So this isn't really a sales call. This really is a gift. It's an offering with the opportunity that maybe we connect in some way, that we can help you in some way in the beginning, and that from the bit of relationship we begin to build, you'll want to have us help you resolve some of these issues. So again, my name is Daoud Miracle. I am the digital director at Doing Good Branding and Web Design Agency. And just in a nutshell, because people ask us this all the time, what we do is we create and build thriving brands that have remarkable websites so that you can get the patients that you're looking for. So we'd love the opportunity to talk with you, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Thanks.